so much for joining us. Today is Wednesday, January 31st, and welcome to another episode of Deliberate Discussions live with your co host. I am Vicki Horton.
And I'm Thadrick Parker.
Okay, Thadrick, tonight, let's just get on into these discussions tonight. We've deliberated long enough. So what's up on our first discussion here?
Well, the first one is it's one of those things where all a kid want is to be loved and accepted, and especially when it comes to a kid that may be different. Um, it's so often that you may have, little girls that may tend to be a little masculine, or little boys that may tend to be a little feminine, and they're still learning themselves as they grow,
Right.
But again, they may very well at some point face the fact that they may be gay and attracted to the same sex, or they may grow out of that and grow into, being straight. You never know. But at the end of the day, all ever any child want is to be accepted, and especially when it comes down to their parents. So I'm going to play a video and then we'll go into discussion after that.
Most definitely.
Papá,
¿Qué?
¿qué haces, papá?
Estoy grabando un video.
Ok, prende la luz, papá. Papá,
¿Qué?
papá, yo te voy a decir algo, papá. Lo que tú quieras hacer, papá.
Entonces, no me hagas llorar, no me hagas llorar, no me hagas
Ok,
llorar.
ok. Lo que tú quieras hacer,
Ok.
you'll be okay. I'll be okay with you.
Okay.
I'm with you. I love you, papá. I love you. Si eso te hace feliz, do it. Do it. But do it good. Okay, papá. I'm always with you. No te voy a dejar abajo en nada. ¿Ok? Estoy contento. Good night.
That was
Amazing.
amazing.
It's so touching. And I, when I saw this, I mean, I cried like a baby
Yeah.
because this little boy, he was so shocked at his father's reaction.
Yeah, he didn't know how his father would react. You're
He
absolutely right. He was just like, "Oh my God, my father's gonna catch me in makeup."
But it's what the father said to him that really fascinated me about this man. He said, if you're gonna do it
Do it.
good. Oh my God.
Oh my.
When he said that, Thadrick, I bawled.
Yeah. It was just, and that's what's when he said that, do it good. But then also when he said,
Woo.
I'm right there with you.
I'm there with you
I'm there
always.
with you. I was like, oh my Lanta, this is amazing. And I completely understand that everybody have different ways of dealing with things, especially when it comes to their child and sexuality and things like that, when it comes to their religious beliefs and things like that. But I will say, being an openly gay man, being young, being that boy's age where I was like, okay, what do I do? What I want? How this is how I feel, but I know what I'm, what society thinks and how they want me to be. And although I enjoyed playing sports and was extremely good at it, I know deep down inside I still had this attraction to the same sex, so but then it's just like, for me growing up, and but I also knowing that I dated girls and had sex with girls and things like that. But when I got the acceptance from my mother, my grandmother, my family, I didn't give a damn what society said.
Exactly.
And but like I said, and I will tell any parent, especially if you're dealing with that same situation where if you have a child, rather it's a boy or a girl, if the girl tends to be more masculine, if the boy tends to be more feminine, the only thing that I can say is speak to your child, support your child, even if you don't believe in it, even if you're in your mind or the way that you was raised in your mind, you think, well, this is not right and everything. Because one thing I can guarantee you, you would rather be there for your child and raise your child versus the streets doing it.
Exactly. And we talked about that last. We
We
talked about
did.
that.
We spoke about this because what happens is, especially when children, especially that boy's age, that boy can turn out to be one of the biggest makeup artists in the
Oh
world.
my God.
That
Listen, I wish I knew him because I would have called him to put this one lash on for me because this sucker here is barely hanging on, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see it.
exactly. You know, go ahead. I'm
When
sorry.
you sent me that video, I was like, oh my God, we have to highlight this. Like,
Yes.
so many young children his age and some even younger that are not ready to come out to their parents.
Correct.
And as a parent, I just want to say this to other parents. We have to accept our children. They're still our children. We birthed them. We fed them. We loved them first and foremost. We carried them. And to see this man, Papa, open the door, turn the light on. The dad already knew.
Yeah, he knew.
But he was waiting for the right moment. I'm pretty sure. And I'm just. This is just me.
But you know, it's so funny. I remember when my grandmother told me that she knew. Girl, and I'm seeing all stupid. Like what? What you knew?
Well, I can tell you something about my oldest daughter. When she called me on the phone, Mom, something I want to tell you. And I'm like, what? And she's like, I'm gay. I'm like, girl, that's what you called me for. I'm almost late for work. I already knew that. You know, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, but at being openly, it's so funny when you're going through that stage, especially at a young age where you think you're hiding something. Parents always know, you know, and you just be like in the state of shock, like what? What are you talking about? You know what? So, and you tend to question yourself, like, well, what have I done to make them, to let them believe that they, this is the way that I am. But just to go back, that, like I said, that kid can turn out to be the next RuPaul. He can turn out to who's extremely successful, that just won her 8th Emmy, that has one of the most successful shows on VH1, so it's just, it warmed my heart. And just to hear what that man said to his child was like, wow.
Papa, do it.
Do it.
Do it good. If
do it.
And Jaleesa, if y'all are watching tonight, do it.
Do
it good.
Do it extremely well, and that's one thing that I have done in life, being an openly Black gay man, having the acceptance of my family. Like I've told you previously, I've stated on the show that I go through life every day knowing that I'm representing my family. Exactly. Knowing that whatever I'm doing, I'm making my family proud. I don't wear this badge of honor that say, "Hey, I'm Thadric and I'm gay." Yeah, I'm very secure with who I am. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a Black, happy gay man. Okay, but I get up and go to work every day.
Married gay.
Exactly. Almost married. But that was an amazing story, and I'm glad that we took the time to highlight that. Comments, all of our viewers that's watching, hit the comments, tell us how you feel about that story. Again, everyone may have a difference in beliefs, and that's okay, and I accept that. And again, I have no desire to try to throw my beliefs or who I am on anybody else, but I will tell anybody, you will respect who I am.
That's right, as they should. And listen, as parents, we shouldn't be judging our children either. It's not how you brought your children up. It's nothing that you did wrong. I mean, it's just preferences that children get. Me personally, my experience, my kids didn't even know I was bisexual. My mother died, never knew that I was bisexual. And my thing is, ever since high school, a lot of stuff happened in high school with me that people don't know about because I never talked about it. But I had one high school classmate who inboxed me a few years ago, and he was like, "Looking at you, I would never tell." I said, "But what does a bisexual woman look like?" Like, I mean, I don't know. It made me understand it.
It is that when I tell you, I will say this to hear someone say that, like especially like, oh, I didn't know you was gay. You don't look like it. What the hell does gay look
Like,
like?
what does that look like?
You're like, what?
Listen, there's really only one person, and you know who she is, that really knew about me in high school at that time. You
Uh-huh,
know,
uh-huh.
around her with her, and she's both our friends. But it's like I said, it's nothing that I talked about back in the day. I mean, my kids didn't even know, but when they got older, I said, okay, they're grown, I'm grown. You know what? Let me do my thing now. Let me just, let me
And, and
just do.
I'm glad that you shine some light on that, being a bisexual woman, Vicky, because you know many people may know that I too have a gay mother.
Mhm.
But coming up, I knew when my mother had boyfriends and things like that. So it's like my mother came out to me before
Mhm.
I came out to her. Now the difference is
Wow.
when my mother came out to me, I took it hard
Why?
because I was still fighting my own sexuality.
Oh, I get it.
I was still hiding. Here I
I
am, my mother admitting and telling me about her sexuality and telling me about her girlfriend, who I think is just one of her friends, her Judy's or whatever. But it's her girlfriend. And I'm sitting here like, well, girl, what you talking about? What? And I just remember it. We lived in Delray. We lived in Delray Estates across from the old Winn-Dixie over there. And when she told me about it, I was like, what are you talking about? But I knew I took it so hard because of the fact that I was still fighting my own sexuality.
I
And
understand.
and but then I was just like, okay, my mom is gay. It's okay for me to be gay. It's okay. But then it's
You
just
know what, that Maria, shout out to everybody who's watching us. Let me just
mm,
give a quick shout out. Maria Marshall Bean, your other mother, Thadrick. Jackie Pender, thank you so much for joining us. Tanya Rich, Roshan Parker, we talking about you, girl.
yeah,
KP, hey, how you doing? Maria Marshall Bean made a comment. She says, I was accepted by my kids, which was all I needed. That's it.
that's it.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
That's it.
It,
Yeah.
it, it's the people that matter. I don't care what everybody else thinks of me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I knew how my mother was, which is why one of the reasons why I never, said to her, "Oh, well, I like girls and boys. Well, I
Mhm.
like to have sex with girls and boys. Sometimes at the same time." But that's different. That's a different topic.
We're not gonna start
We
this
don't
shit
talk about
tonight.
that.
We're not gonna start. Friend, we are
Different
friend, we
discussion.
are friend, we are 14 minutes in the show and you starting
Okay,
today.
okay, all right. We're gonna that topic, but I'm gonna end it with this here. Parents, please make sure you support your children in their sexuality and their choices. It's very detrimental that we do this as parents because in the long run, it could damage our kids if we disinherit them or if we disown them. So we want to show them how much we love them regardless of their sexuality, because at the end of the day, they are grown and that is it.
Exactly. Vicky,
John,
I do want to say this. You see my mom in the comments, don't start Vicky, but I also want to give a shout out to my mother-in-law, Jackie Pender. You're right. She say my son-in-law to be. Mama, when I tell you, I'm so looking forward to it. I don't even know about that to be stuff because I'm already your son-in-law. As much as
listen,
me and
Jack,
you talk on the
I'm
phone,
wondering why they rings already, because I showed enough ass. I'm like, did y'all go and sneak and get married without us watching? I want to. But
blah.
anyway, let's
You
let's
know,
listen. We're gonna talk more on this. Listen, viewers, we want to know your feelings as a parent, as a gay woman, as a gay man, bisexual, no matter what it is that you are. We want to know how you all feel about this,
exactly.
I mean, this amazing video. Shout out
Mhm.
to that father. I wish his son all the best, and I hope he does become one of America's or one of the world's famous makeup artists. I mean, he was beautiful. He really
Yeah,
was.
he was. All right. So let's do some advertising, friend.
Yes,
All
yes,
right. So
yes.
let's talk about our promos spot.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, we have Deliberate Discussions promo. If you would like to advertise here on Deliberate Discussions, we offer promotion for your businesses. We offer promo for your products or anything that you have, even an event. So hit us up, 561-325-1488, or hit us up at deliberategmail.com.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm gonna let you take this. I'm gonna let you start with this second topic. Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna throw up Vicky. I'm gonna throw up another promotion. Okay.
Yes, let's talk about this topic here. Go ahead.
All right. So, guys, just again, we just want to remind you all hold on one second. I can barely see it on my end. Saturday, February 10th, from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., we have the Praise and Worship Black History Concert and Award Show, hosted by our girl, our family, our friend from Frog Alley's only, Kenya Wheeler. So check her out. It's going to be a great show. It's being held for Black History Month as well. It's the Praise and Worship Black History Concert and Award Show, Saturday, February 10th, 2024, from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. They're going to be held at the New Jerusalem Church of God in Christ, and it's free parking. Bring your lawn chairs. It's going to be a great event, guys.
I'm definitely going to come down for that.
Can I hop in really quick on this
ahead.
one?
Everybody, shout out to our producer Vincent Wheeler. He always
I'm behind the flyer right now, but I just want to say again, New Jerusalem Church of God in Christ, February the 10th. Come see my big sister Kenya C. Wheeler, the CEO, and her event. She's been doing this for so long at this gospel event. She's been putting it down in these gospel streets with the radio station and all this. So she goes to everybody's award show. So I need the entire county to come out. This is Black History Month. And I just wanted to do a quick selfish plug. You know what I'm talking about? But for Opulent Grandeur Grazing, we will be on site. We are breaking out our Opulent Big Ass Cookies. We are very close to having that ready to launch in the next week or so. Waiting for a few more legalities to get done. And then Opulent Big Ass Cookies and Opulent Grandeur Grazing will be on site. I'll be dressed like a charcuterie plate, and I'll be just this crunk at a gospel event. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to be through there for baby Jesus, you feel me? So y'all come out for that event.
Thank you, Vincent. I can't wait to taste these big ass cookies.
Okay. Friend, you didn't
What'd you say?
You need me to sing you something? Because I'm definitely going. I some big
Okay.
ass
All right.
from Birthday.
Before we move on, I have one more advertising flyer on the screen. All right. So again, we want to advertise Maria Marshall Bean for Document Solutions Print and Copy Services. You're interested in having anything done as far as printing, copying, color, black and white color copies, scans, email, faxes, binders, and manuals put together. Maria also has a notary service and mobile notary services. Reach out to Maria Marshall Bean at Document Solutions Print and Copy Services. Her phone number is 561. I can barely see this on the screen. Can you see it, friend? I can barely see it. My eyes bag.
Maria phone number is Document Print and Copy Services. Make sure you reach out to Maria Marshall Bean right here on Facebook. She is watching tonight. Maria, if you can please post your phone number, we would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah. So the number is 561-768-1446. Again, that's Maria Marshall Bean at Document Solutions Print and Copy Services. 561-768-1446.
Yes, we know it, but we want you to post it. Okay, Thad, what's next? We want to go into this next discussion because this just came about. We didn't need long to deliberate on this next discussion because there's just been so many great things. And we wanted this last episode for the month of January to go out, with positive notes. So Thadrick, let's play our next video.
To see this development. Here is 40 units of housing for the unsheltered that we are doing here. This is great. Water station right there. Of the 40 are ADA compliant, and this is what the units look like on the inside. So you have a bed, and we give them bedding, shower towels, microwave, plates and cups, a refrigerator with the freezer unit, sink, storage underneath the bed, a desk, air conditioning, heat, an alarm clock, a television. We got Wi-Fi on site, free Wi-Fi. You got supplies to clean it up because this is your unit. You want to keep it clean. Shower, toilet. Trying to take care of people, man, in a humane way. This is the Melody. It's controlled access. There's cameras around here. Free laundry up in here. Community space room. Case managers, people that will help them. They may need mental health support. They may need physical health support. They may have drug addiction. We're going to help them out. This is beautiful.
Wow.
That was amazing. And to those
Shout
that
out
don't,
to the mayor.
big
That's
shout
a
out. Huge shout out to the mayor of Atlanta.
Thaddeus, I really wish that we could bring a program like that down, to Palm Beach County, or in every ethnic community or minority community, should I say. What the Atlanta mayor has done here is just remarkable.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. And the fact that the city,
Totally.
they allocated that money to that cause in their city council, and that's absolutely amazing. And the fact that they're gonna have, you know, healthcare, mental health professionals and everything
Yeah.
to provide all type of services to the homeless people. Now, I am, I want to know how long will the homeless person be able to stay there? Is it something permanent for them? Is there a time frame in this temporary housing? So I'm just really curious about that. But the program is absolutely amazing, and big shout out, huge kudos to the city of Atlanta for doing that for their homeless population.
I did make a couple of phone calls in regards to how that program works. It's kind of like, I don't know if anybody remembers here, but they used to have this place called the Lord's Place in Boynton Beach.
I have heard of that.
Okay, well, they actually give you, from what I understand, the mayor of Atlanta, the program that he started here, they're going to give you the counseling. They're going to help you get jobs. They help with resumes and eventually help you to eventually get on your feet,
Okay.
starting small. So you start there and they help you. But I mean, the program could range anywhere from 6 months to a year. It all
Okay.
depends on, what's out there available, who's willing to hire. A lot of people don't like to hire convicts, convicted felons, or should I say ex-convict or ex-convicted felons. Nowadays, if you have a domestic violence charge on you, they don't want to hire you. So, shout out to Atlanta mayor, and
Mhm.
to all the other mayors in the state of Florida, Chicago, all over the United States. Take note from the Atlanta mayor on how to care for your people in the city. If you love them, you'll take care of them.
It's so funny that what made me laugh when you said that Chicago about that. I'm like, girl, we got to get these immigrants under control that we got here.
Alone, friend, leave them people alone.
But I mean, it's still a really bad situation, and I know that the city is doing everything that they can, um, to provide housing to them. But it is a situation that's completely out of control here,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Y'all
So
excuse me for like doing that because I was eating and I got these braces in my mouth and food gets stuck. I'm so sorry, but that's totally.
I see Maria posted a comment where she said we need this in Delray. My
We need-
question is, does Delray have I mean, I haven't lived at home since I was 19 years old, but is there a large homeless population there?
when I go down there, Thadric, I wouldn't say there's a large homeless population, but in certain areas, like if you go on Northwest 8th Avenue behind the gas station, where the one stop used to be, and
Correct. Yeah.
is in that area where Mario's is, there tends to be a bunch of homeless people over there. And then also downtown, believe it or not, downtown Delray, right in the park area in front of Old Town Tavern and across from Rags. I mean, you have homeless people there. They have all their stuff piled up there. And that's where they sleep because that no one's gonna bother them.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
even at the old Dunkin' Donuts where Docs is, I mean, something needs to be done about the homeless in Delray. We do need something like that. And if there are any decent pastors or ministers in Delray Beach watching this broadcast, I mean, please, 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 get together with other community leaders and let's make this happen. Let's clean Delray up, the minority community, the set community. Let's clean that up. Downtown looks good.
Okay. Okay.
Kind of angry, so you already know when I talk about downtown Delray.
No,
All right.
I do think that program would be extremely helpful. It's just a matter of, both sides coming together. Again, you can't get the funds if both sides don't come together, in any city council or whatever to allocate those funds to that particular purpose. It's so often, especially the way politics is these days, where it's such a nasty game.
Yeah.
Nobody wants this side to have anything. The other side got too much. And it's just, and at the end of the day, the only people that suffer is the people.
Is the people. That's right. That's fair.
And so
So, I mean, we're right at the 8:26 mark, and we still have a couple of other things to talk about. But viewers, we wanna know your thoughts on all of these discussions tonight. We want to know, what you think about these. What's your idea of how these cities can improve? Please post your comments here because we will be posting this on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. This episode of Deliberate Discussions will be on every social media page ever made.
Can,
Okay,
can I
LinkedIn.
add one? Can I add one quick point?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to give a shout out to Broward County. So again, I do a lot with Florida for All. I do a lot with the Florida Black Caucus and all those meetings with the state and things like that. So I do want to give a shout out to the program that is in Broward County that was on a bunch of the Florida Black Caucus meetings with us. It's called From Heart to Heart Boarding Home for Men. So if you are a man, if you want to go out there and find some labor ready work, if you want to go out there and find some cheap labor for now while you're in recovery, while you're in transition. Let's not say homeless. As a military veteran, I don't like that word because the majority of those folks are veterans. So let's not say homeless. Let's say in transition. If you are a man in transition and you are able bodied and you can work, if you go to Broward, if you go to Heart, that's what it's called, boarding room home for men in Broward. What they give you is an environment. It's 2 men per room. Both men share it. It's about $195 a week for those rooms. And if you want a private bathroom, it's $225 a week. It is a drug-free environment, so you have to be purely in recovery. So again, if they catch anything in violations, they don't want you on their premises because they want to give people the safe haven to be able to go and get themselves into transition, which means you got to get up to figure out how to make that 195 this week.
Yeah.
So to be able to pay your rent and that phase of transition. If you are
Vincent,
there, please contact them.
Vincent, thank you for sharing that resource, but I do have a question for you. My question is, if you don't have the money to afford the 195 weekly, is there a resource? Do they have some type of program to allow you to
There's,
still do that?
so I've been trying to work on those in Palm Beach County, and
Okay.
every place that I've tried to build that program, somehow it's gotten burned down from the either the city or whatever fiduciary is running the money for these programs from the cities. That money's not trickling down to sustainable programs for veterans and for people of color. Again, we're going back to me and my We Empathize, We Recover program that got burned down in Lake Worth.
Okay.
So again, there are a lot of people behind the scenes. Again, I'm going to say the name, and I hopefully someone watches on my page from Florida for All. I'll get you guys in contact with the folks from Florida for All and
Okay.
also the Florida Black Caucus. Again, over the past, since I'm an original person for organizing for America in Palm Beach County. So
Okay.
when that program first started, I was the first person to get certified in the
Okay.
county, and that was about 20 years ago. So I've been in the political scene since organizing for America. I know a lot of these grassroots efforts are here. What's happening is everybody with the shiny roof and the NFL athletes are getting all the money. And then none of the people who are actually tangibly struggling to build these programs with impact that show the impact of what they're doing in these programs and how it's impacting the community positively or negatively. That
Okay.
does not exist in Palm Beach County.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
Vincent, send us an email with more research on that topic that you talked about. Right now, we're at the 8:30 mark, and we still need to move on. Um, there's some comments in there. Rashawn says Derry only focuses on out of town recovery people that rich families must hide for a while, and you're absolutely right. And you know what, Sean,
Say
I
it.
really thought that most of that was over in the city of Delray Beach, but it's really not over. All it did was just move to a different place. Now, Thaddeus, I do my guy friend. He and I we text each other, every day. And we were saying, good morning, good morning, how you doing? Da, da, da. I'm like, what are you doing today? What's your day like? He actually works for the city of Miami-Dade County. He works for the county, and he says, "Babe, I'm clearing out the homeless today." And the first I was just like, what? Like, what do you mean clearing them out? He says, I got to make a move. I'm like, why you? Like, I don't understand. Where are they going to go? He says, that's not our problem. I'm like, but it is.
It is.
So, and I mean, he's like, wow. He's like, you really taking this hard. I say, yeah, because I have a problem with that. The homeless already don't have anywhere to go. So if you guys are going to clear them out in Miami-Dade, like, what are they putting there? They're getting ready to clear the ground for new buildings.
Yeah,
And that's what's happening to our people, getting pushed aside for, construction.
yeah, and I can understand, especially when a developer is coming in and they bought this land and XYZ. But I just wish that the city just had the resources when things like that happen. But unfortunately they don't. So in the comments, just let us know what you guys think, and we'll be, of course, we go always read their comments and go back. But no, that's ugh,
It,
mm,
it's
it's
heartbreaking.
hard. It
It
is.
makes
It's hard.
me sad. It does.
It's
So you know what, friend, go ahead, let's move on from this. Viewers, let us know what you think, because like right now I'm about to cry. I don't put my friend on block.
no. We're not going to do that. All right. So before we move on, I am going to do another advertising for Generation Wealth Builders South. CEO Lamisha and Richard Hughes. Their office number is 321-316-3932. Their email address is office@gwbs.info. If you need any services, involving life insurance, 401k rollover, IRAs, final expenses, immunities, retirement plans, long-term care, debt settlement, please reach out to Richard and Lamisha Hughes at 321-316-3932 with Generational Wealth Builders South. Thank you.
And if you miss General Wealth Builders, if you go and catch our last season, you will see Richard and Lamicia Hughes on there. And they were just, they gave out so much information. So they're always there to take your calls and your inquiries. Cedric, what else? Do you have anything else?
I got an advertising for you that's coming up right now on the screen.
Okay, everybody, y'all know I've been pushing this Black Lux thing because I'm going this year, and this is going to be all the way live February 24th from 2 p.m. until 9 p.m. We have Black Lux, sponsored by one of the hottest promoters in the entire state of Florida. Mr. Rohan Genesis Sutherland is sponsoring this event. He is the main man behind it. He is the boss. So we need everybody to come up. And from what I understand, this is going to be a whole weekend full of stuff, not just Black Lux on Saturday, but it's going to be a whole weekend full of stuff. And we are going to bring that to you next week. Next Wednesday, we will have more information on it. So if you haven't purchased your tickets, please go to Black Lux, or go to, I think you go to Eventbrite, or go to www.blackluxpicnic.com, get more information. Purchase those tickets. Okay, they are giving $1,000 to the best decor out there.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Vicky. Hey, Vicky, before we move on, I do want to highlight a question, because I do think that it's really, really important, pertaining to our last story by T. Rich. It says, what should a city, developer, or homeowner do when the homeless has occupied a space?
T. Rich, I'm gonna tell you, it depends on the county that you're in. I've been in the mortgage banking financial industry for a very long while. And from what I understand with all of this with squatters, it's kind of hard to get squatters out of the way.
Yes.
That's just a term that they use for them squatters. They've taken up residence at these homes. But the best thing that you can do is you need to go down and you need to talk to your city officials and find out what your rights are as a homeowner. Find out, about the ordinances about squatting, things like that, and find out what you can and cannot do with all the Florida statutes. The Florida statutes in regards to squatters is very, very tricky. So
it is.
Rich, thank you so very much for your comment. We really appreciate that. And we will get you more information on that. Just email me, please, or Thadric, delivereddiscussions@gmail.com, or you can send us a text message, 561-325-1488. Now, Thadric, I know you have that video. I am dying for you to go ahead and play this. So please go ahead.
All right. So before we go into our next topic, which is pertaining to Black History Month, I'm just gonna add a little humor to it before we start the topic. So just bear with me here.
All the Caucasians to the back. Immediately. Honestly, thank you. Looks better already.
I can't stand you, friend. You know what? Immediately.
So tomorrow is February 1st, which
Yes.
is the start of Black History Month.
Listen, Black History Month is finally here. The month of February. It is our time for us to say it and say it loud on Black. So, but really, really, guys, listen, Black History Month is our time to show appreciation for our ancestors and celebrate our future. So with that being said, deliberate discussions, we would like to take this time right now and we want to offer up a few movie selections that we feel, you know, perseverance through the Jim Crow or victory over slavery that that often got overlooked. Um, these are films that examine lesser known historical stories, alternate perspectives of well-known events, or slices of Black life. We don't always consider these. However, so while we love and appreciate selections like Selma and Hidden Figures with Taraji P. Henson, which we talked about last week, this list will veer from those little standards. So, all right, first up, Dad, you want me to take?
You go. You can start it. You can start it. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So first up, and listen, these are not in any other order, but these are just movies that we feel you guys should watch. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me back up a minute. I just want to go to the to what's going on to kick off tomorrow in the city of Delray Beach. Tomorrow night, February 1st, the Set Community, they present a candlelight vigil. It's going to be a drum roll at 4 p.m. Anthony Bacchus honoring our ancestors. Again, what did I just say? Black History Month is a time for us to honor our ancestors and celebrate our future. Our ancestors did a lot for us to get to where we are today. And baby, the least we can do is pay them back and show them that, hey, we still remember you and what your sacrifices were. So again, tomorrow night, February 1st, 4 p.m. Did I say that right? 4 p.m. That's the drum roll. It's at 4 p.m. and they're going to be honoring our ancestors at 5:30 p.m. at the Libby Wesley Plaza, 2 Southwest 5th Avenue in Delray Beach. I Am Black History Delray Scavenger Hunt. More details will follow on that. Okay. And then later on at 6:30 p.m. at the Spady Museum, Stories in the Set. That sounds so interesting. I am here in Palm Beach County, Thadrick. I am going to try to get off work because I really want to make it down to Delray. I know I probably won't make it until 7 o'clock from where I'm coming from, but I really want to hear about the stories in the set. I want to hear about that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really, really interesting. I wish
Hi,
I was.
I see Morris watching us. Hi, Morris. Hey, Bilal, how are you? One more time, please. Oh, he want to see the video again. No.
All right. So
you guys show up tomorrow. The Set Community, they're presenting stuff all Black history. And what we're going to do here at Deliberate Discussions each and every Wednesday, we are going to highlight what is going on. Yes, skip. You look, Morris is telling me to skip work.
Okay.
No, my boss might be watching. Well, I do feel kind of sick.
Well, I will say also for if you are in the Chicago area and you would like to attend something for Black History Month, where is it here? Okay. Jewel Osco is actually starting off Black History Month tomorrow. They have things going on at their store, the one that's located at 78 West 87th Street in Chicago. They're kicking off their 25th annual Black History Month celebration. So join them. They have many different activities and different, Black foods, from our culture, and a lot of different activities going on. It's going to be tomorrow to start off the month, as well as the second as well. And it's at 6 p.m. and it's at the Jewel Osco. But also just keep in mind, it's going to be different Jewel Oscos throughout the city of Chicago will have events going on also for Black History Month.
Most definitely. All right. So also on Friday the 2nd, go red for heart health. The Delta sorority at 6 p.m. will be at Pompey Park, 1101 Southwest 2nd Street in Delray. Also a look back at the 1950s and the 60s from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. Delray Beach Historical Society Museum. They will be sponsoring that. That's going to be Tuesday through Saturday, and the cost of that is $5. let's see. On the 3rd, the Roots Cultural Festival Black History Parade. The lineup is at 9:30 a.m. The parade starts at 12 noon. It's going to be at the Community Center, 50 Northwest First Avenue in Delray Beach. And also on February 3rd, we have Black Excellence Under the Stars from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's going to be at Northwest 5th Avenue in Delray Beach, Florida. We will have more on these events for the month coming up. We hope we're not going too fast, but you can always go back and see this. But thank you so very much to the set community, Miss Ernestine Holiday, Reginald Cox. Who else is on there? I know I'm missing somebody. Miss Yvonne Odom, Chuck Ridley, you and your wife. Thank you all so very much. Morris Christophin, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You know more about this. Please go to theset.org to learn more about this. Andrea Stewart Bruton, I did not forget about you. Thank you all so much for allowing us to share this information. All right, so Thaddeus, back to our movies. These are must-watch movies.
Correct.
And like I said, not in any order, but we do have 3 honorable mentions. So we have 15 minutes to kill here. So we're going to go ahead and go through these real quick. The first one, Eye on the Prize. If you have never seen Eye on the Prize, this is a quintessential documentary on the civil rights movement. It's a 6-part series. And how can I say this? Okay, it basically tells the definitive story of the civil rights era from the point of view of the ordinary men and women whose extraordinary actions launched a movement, the whole fabric of Black American life. So if you've ever seen it or you haven't seen it since childhood, now is the perfect time to go ahead and reintroduce yourself to this. It is now streaming on HBO Max. Again, Eyes on the Prize, HBO Max. You must see this for Black History Month. All right, Thaddeus, what do you have?
For me, the one that I have on my list is Good Hair. If you haven't seen Good Hair, I mean, it really goes back to our culture and our Black hair. It's streaming now on Peacock. I've seen that movie several times, and I think Chris Rock did just such an amazing job with it. And just really an amazing dictation of our culture. So for Black History Month, you must watch Good Hair.
I have that one as an honorable mention. I like I said, I kept moving him, but I got him as an honorable mention. So, but yeah, definitely, guys, I'm gonna see Good Hair. I've seen it before, but I gotta pay more attention to it.
Yeah,
all right,
it is really good.
Next up, and I know everybody has probably seen this one. Okay, if you are big on civil rights and the movement and everything, and all of that. We have Rosewood, directed by John Singleton. It's basically a historical drama that's based on the true events of the 1923 Rosewood Massacre. So if you don't know anything about the Rosewood Massacre, and I would think that they would teach this in Black history in school, maybe not. But basically, when a mob of white supremacists terrorized and destroyed the thriving Black town in Aurora, Florida, we're talking about right here in the state of Florida, they killed dozens in the process. Okay, so spooned by the false claims of a white woman in a neighboring town, a mob of white men descends on Rosewood seeking a recently escaped Black prisoner who they assume to be the Black man that violently attacked this white woman. So make sure you go and see Rosewood. All right, Thaddeus, what's on your list next?
The next one I have is, I'm sure everyone has seen this, but if you haven't, you need to watch it. The Dorothy Dandridge story.
Another one mentions friend.
Oh my God, I love that story.
That is on HBO Max.
Correct.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you guys, Rosewood is now streaming on Prime Video.
Have you seen, friend? Have you seen the MLK/FBI story, the documentary?
No, but listen, when you told me about that, I had never seen that one, but that is on my top list. So MLK FBI is a 2020 American documentary film. I love documentaries, by the way.
Correct.
And this is directed by Sam Pollard, who's known for co-directing the 1987 Oscar-nominated Eyes on the Prize. So this documentary takes a deep dive into the U.S. government surveillance and harassment of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. under J. Edgar Hoover. If y'all know who J. Edgar Hoover is, he was head of the FBI back then. So
Correct.
Much of the documentary utilizes archival footage of MLK between 1955 and 1968, the years of his work as a civil rights activist. It shows us a young Martin Luther King from 1963 to 1968. I was born in 67, so I can't wait to see this.
Correct.
So yeah, I mean, the documentary covers the attempts by Hoover and FBI to discredit Dr. King by collecting recordings and images of his private sexual life with women other than his wife. I don't know no man that wouldn't, but okay, if y'all call yourself trying to get Dr. King on that, then shame on you.
Correct.
All right, so Thadric, I have Black Klansman, and that's spelled BLACKKKLANSMAN. But
That was
before
another, that was
I,
another good one. Yeah, I did see that.
MLK FBI is streaming on Hulu, guys.
Mhm.
So MLK FBI is streaming on Hulu. But yeah, Black Klansman. Spike Lee. This is a 2018 Spike Lee film. I love Spike Lee. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm a big Spike Lee fan, and this is based on a true story of Black Colorado police officer Ron Starworth, who manages to infiltrate the local Ku Klux Klan, the KKK, and thwart their attempts to terrorize, to do random terror acts around or whatever, all via phone. So this is streaming on Prime Video. So make sure you go and watch Black Klansman, KKK.
Correct.
Okay.
And
So what else?
the last one I have on my list is Glory. If you haven't seen Glory, you ain't black. And Glory,
I have Glory on my list, Thadric.
I swear to God, Glory is one of those movies
It,
for Black history. I mean, you can watch that at any time, but you have to see Glory.
yeah,
Have to.
Glory is streaming on Hulu as well.
Correct. So, we are at the 10-minute mark. Do you want to go into still do the other thing?
Yeah, we can.
Are you sure?
No, but yeah, we can.
Okay. So, viewers. So, recently I came up with this crazy idea in my head and I hit my co-host up and I was like, I want to do something different. And I wanted to interview my co-host and give you guys, an opportunity to know us on a different level. And my co-host will also in a future show have an opportunity to interview me. Now she has no clue what my questions are pertaining, which it will be 7 questions that I will ask her. But these questions that I'm going to ask her, maybe a little personal, but but I think that it's going to brighten her day because it's pertaining to motherhood. Because I know my co-host on a personal level, and I know that she is an amazing mother. So I was strolling through the TikTok streets one night, of like I always do, and I ran across this video that just touched my soul. And I did this, asked these series of questions with my mothers, and I was just amazed by the answers that I got. So I want to take this the rest of the time of the show to ask you these same questions from a mother's perspective. Okay, so the first question I have: what's your happiest memory of you and your children?
Oh my God. I would say collectively, the happiest moment with me and my children was on my wedding day.
Okay.
I mean, even though I'm divorced, but my girl, they were there.
They were.
They were
I was
there.
there.
I mean, I just felt so like I just felt so comfortable with them there,
Mhm.
and they came through for me. They did in each and every way.
That is amazing. The next question I have, so just think back to when you had your first child, going into motherhood, it's the unknown and everything. And then you had the child. What was the first year of motherhood like for you?
It, honestly, it was easy for me
Okay.
because one of my oldest sisters, she took my son and raised him like he was her own.
Okay.
I was young. My mom also babysat my kids at the time my child was going to Alpha Time daycare. I was paying $37.50 a week. I was working at Winn-Dixie, and which is now Presidente. But my sister, she stepped in and she raised me first of all, and then for her to take my child and raise him and take care of him like one of her own, that was just so much easier for me. I was able to roam the streets and do what I want. That's probably why I'm bisexual, but I don't know.
Okay. Now the next question is just a flat out yes or no question. I don't want you to get into depth details because, again, it may be very personal. So the question reads, is there anything about your family history you've kept a secret?
Yes.
Okay. Um, what's the nicest thing your children have done for you?
The nicest thing they've done for me, I don't know. They're my best friends. I don't know. They stand up for me, whether I'm right or wrong, and they'll check me later like, "Mom, you was dead ass wrong." But I mean, my children, you about to make me cry, friend. I love my kids. I don't know what I would do without them, but they have always been there for me. And even when I've failed them, they still they've been there to support me in everything that I've ever done. And I appreciate them for that. I love them for always supporting me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Th- Okay. Okay. What do you want or wish? Okay. Wait, I'm sorry. What do you want or wish more for your children?
What I want for them is to make it not just financially through life, but I want them to make it spiritually. I want them to get closer to God. I want them to be successful in everything they do. And it's so strange that you asked me this question because my oldest daughter called me last night. She's like, "Mom," she's like, "You remember when I told you I wanted to run track?" And I said, "Yeah." And she, excuse me, y'all. And she said, "You told me if I race you and I beat you, that you would let me run track." And she lost against me. So I wouldn't let her run track. And she said to me last night, she said, "Mom, I could have been better than Flojo. I could have been one of the fastest runners." And I said, "You know what? You're absolutely right. And that's my mistake." But I just want the best for my children. I want them to grow. I want them to always be there for each other. I want them to be successful in life. I mean, who doesn't want that for their children?
No. Okay. What has been the best and worst part of getting older?
Oh my God. The best part of getting older, um, is that I'm aging gracefully. I mean, my eyesight is good. The worst part is that my eyesight is like seem like it's getting a little worse now. Need me some glass bottom glasses or something soon, but these contacts in there. But I don't know, the best part of getting old is just, knowing black don't really crack that bad. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just aging gracefully, especially with my friends, my original OGs, I still have them and we still have fun like, it was yesterday. So I don't know. I mean, there's just so many things about getting older.
Okay.
Now you said what's the worst thing?
Okay.
Um, I would say the worst thing about is these bones cracking in the morning, honey. Because let me tell you something. When I get up, and it's so hard for me. I go to sleep late at night. I get up early in the morning, but it's hard for me to get up. It really is. Like, I mean, I have my carpal tunnel. I got my rotator cuff be bothering me. My knees going bad, and I try to squat, and I need help getting up. It's these bones crackling.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
And last and final question I have: what's the one thing you always want your children to remember when you're gone?
I always want my children to remember that family comes first, and you cannot get through life without your family. Yes, sometimes we don't get along with them, but you need your family, and you need each other. And I want them to know that I love them unconditionally, no matter what. There's nothing my kids can't come to me and tell me. And I want them to know, you know what, if my mama was here, my mama would be okay with this because they know me. They can talk to me. And you know what? If they're wrong, I'm gonna say, you know what, I don't like it. But right from wrong. I didn't raise you that way. So I want that's what I really want, after I'm gone. I want my kids to be there for each other. I want them to be respectful to their elders. I want them to be respectful to other people's property. I've taught them all of that. And everything that I taught them in the past, I want them to keep that going, and I want them to pass that on to their children and their children and their children, because I don't want to be known as the big mama that didn't give a damn.
Mhm.
I'm that mother. I care. I care.
Mhm.
Me and my still tell each other I love you before we hang up that phone. Okay, I love you. I mean, we don't let a day go by that we don't tell each other that we love each other. We have to do that. And I want my kids to always remember me saying, I love you. When I'm gone and they can't hear my voice, I want them to remember what I sound like when I say, okay, baby, I love you. Have a good day. Have a good night.
That's amazing. I'm sorry to
Sorry.
make I'm sorry to make you so emotional, friend, but I thank you for being so
Oh,
open and transparent.
excuse
Um,
me, y'all. I got to take this thing off because
That's okay. That's okay. I appreciate you being so open and transparent. I knew, just knowing you personally and knowing the type of mother that you are, that these questions would bring up all kind of emotions. Um, One thing that, with the last question that I asked you, because I told you that I too had asked, my mother's the same question. And the question reads, what's one thing you always want your children to remember when you're gone? And when I asked that, when I said that to my mom, of course she told me, how she felt and things like that, which I agree with. Um, Also, as a child, one thing I always want to know, from especially from my mother, is that I'm enough. That my mother always told me that I'm enough, because it's so often that we tend to get in relationships, or, or may get married to the wrong person or things like that. And they may beat us down, and they may say that, or society may say XYZ. But one thing that I can always remember when my mom is gone is that I'm enough.
you're enough. You're
Yeah.
enough. Your
And
shirt last week.
exactly,
You said
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
Yes,
And that's when the one thing that I always think about, that, I am enough, even when I'm doubting myself, even when I
yes,
have my insecurities and everything, that I am enough. So when I hear that from a parent's perspective,
yes,
it's just like it just lightens up my day and just gives me that pep that I need to get
yes.
through. So I'm sure your children are very proud of you.
They
You know,
are. They
through
are.
the good, the bad, the indifferent, through all of your flaws, through all, your accomplishments, your children are very proud of you.
They
And
are.
I'm proud of you as well.
Thank you, friend. I love you so much.
Love you too. Now I'm scared about what the hell you gonna ask me.
I, no, come on, friend. Now you know I ain't gonna do that. You know I ain't gonna do that. We keep it clean. We not messing.
Okay.
So start messing.
Don't have
Uh,
me out here doing the ugly cry, Vicky.
was I really ugly? Because I done took my lashes off. One of my contacts that
No,
came out.
no, it's all good. No, it was amazing. I'm glad that, like I said, I'm grateful that you were so transparent, and you allow people to see a different side of Vicky. They may know Vicky, fine as red Vicky in the streets and the host, and Vicky of deliberate discussions, but do they know Vicky as a mother? And
No.
Vicky is an amazing mother. You understand what I'm saying? So I love you for that. But this has been an amazing hour.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Vicky and Vincent in the back.
Tax, tax queen, and I
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to catch that.
get me up.
Y'all had me had a guy. I had to step out the room for a second though. You
Wait a
know
minute.
what I'm talking about?
Morris
But I just,
says, hold on. Morris Gustafson says he gonna send me a few questions for you, Thadric.
Oh gosh, Jesus. Okay. What'd you say, Vincent?
I just wanted to say thank y'all for sharing that level of vulnerability. I appreciate being able to be in the background. I did not want to. That was awesome, and I love that moment, and I appreciate being a part of it. And thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you,
Ladies,
Vicky.
our producer Vincent Reese Wheeler. He is he. Listen, I thought I had the best co-host ever, but I also have the best co-host and the best producer ever. I love these guys. They are awesome, And I tell you, I just look forward to our text messages with each other because I crack up, and it's so hard to keep a straight face. But
Look, y'all do not want to be a part of a text message with Vincent.
no. But listen, y'all go and check out some of those movies I told you about. Don't forget Kenya Wheeler's event coming up on February 10th, right, Vincent?
Yes,
Yes,
February 10th.
February 10th.
Yep, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m.
All right. At 4 p.m., the set community is going to be presenting the candlelight vigil. Make sure you guys get down there to Delray Beach. The whole month is going to be just amazing. And I'm here this weekend, so hopefully, oh, look at that big ass cookie.
Look at that big ass cookie.
$6.
That looks so good.
$6 for an 8-ounce cookie. It's a big ass cookie. And when you warm it up and you cut that thing be skirting everywhere, chocolate be everywhere, that thing all moist on the inside. Ooh, child. Big
Lord have
ass
mercy.
cookies. They coming. They coming.
All right,
Thank
guys, we're 2 minutes over. Thank you all so very much for joining another episode of Deliberate Discussions. We will see you right back here next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all so very much. And please don't forget to join us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you send us a friend request. We would love to hear your comments. Email us deliberategdiscussions@gmail.com. Or if you want advertising for your event, your whatever you have going on, please call us 561-325-1488.
Correct. Also, if you please follow us on all social media platforms by scanning the QR code that's up in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Vincent, what are you doing?
They see the monkey. They know what's next. They see the monkey. They know how I go out.
Also, let me give a shout out to my mom who's in the comments, to Sean Way Custom Art. We'll have a flyer for that up soon to advertise on the show as well. Vincent, go ahead.
Go ahead, Miss, because it's killing you.
We all we got. We all we need.
Good night, everybody.